Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. Quick video today. I've been meaning to get some videos up, but things have been crazy. So I can mention all that in another, but it's just been like organizing in the house and appointments and then days just getting busy as we take on a big project like putting up curtain rods and things like that. So anyway, oh, and look, I have stuff all over me. The baby also has a little bit of a cold and isn't feeling great. So that is keeping me from doing videos because it's more important that I'm focusing on the things that I need to instead of focusing on this channel. But the other day I was talking to somebody about deschooling. So if you are getting into homeschooling, and your child has already been in school, whether that be preschool or public school or Christian school. And yes, I might say a lot, and that's just me. If you're going to be taking them out and they're already used to some program like that, it may take time to deschool them. This also might happen if you are changing curriculums within your homeschooling. So think about it. If a child has been going to school for, let's say they go kindergarten and first grade, and you're going to take them out in second grade. They've been taught for those 2 years that you sit down when the teacher tells you to, you raise your hand to ask to go to the bathroom. When it's history class, you learn about whatever the teacher has decided you're learning in history that day, whether it be from the textbook or whatever. Homeschooling gives us more freedom. We have someone coming to look at Grampy's car, and so that I just saw people pulling up. So homeschooling, you have a lot more freedom. The freedom might be that you don't have classes 8 to 2. The freedom might be that you're allowing your child to have more say in what curriculum they're doing. It might be that you're allowing them to take breaks when they need to instead of going by the class schedule like you would in a public school. I'm not saying that doing things like a public school is bad, but homeschooling does not need to look like a public school setting where you sit down at your desk for so many hours a day and fill out paperwork. Homeschooling can look very different. And for a child who's been taught how to think and how to put things down on paper for a test, it can be hard when your new curriculum or the new way that you're schooling is more open. We're going to write a paper about flowers. Well, if this child, and I don't know how every public school works, I'm not trying to say that I know everything, but if this child has been told you're going to write a paper about tulips in the past, and now the child has to make that choice, it's going to take a little while for them to learn how to learn when they're getting to do more of the choosing. I don't know if that makes sense. So ways that I would deschool a child. These ways would work for any age child, but you'll see as I mention things that you might change it up for a child of a different age. But if your child is coming home from school, again, this could work for a second grader or a 10th grader. First thing I would do is take them to a library. Maybe that is a library near you. There are some great libraries. We've been in Tennessee. There are some great libraries down there. We're back in Maine right now, but they're great libraries down there. Here in Maine, our libraries are very, very liberal. More and more agendas are coming in that I don't want to introduce my kids to by them just happening to pick up a book at the library. But maybe you know somebody that has a lending library like we do. We have a ton of books. Here, I'll show you. There's our books over there. And we're going to have more in a different place, but that's what I have in this room. And we are opening it up that people can get on our website. It's a Libraica, and I can put the link down below, but you can check out books and you can borrow books for a month and then bring them back to us. Or maybe you just have a good homeschool friend, or a friend goes to school that has a lot of books that you could say, hey, could we borrow some books? Could my kid look through your books and see what's of interest to them? Because that's one way to explore your child's interest. Another way, going on walks. And I know this might sound funny to do, like when you think about going on walks with your kid, you're thinking about like taking a toddler on a walk. But really, going on a walk with a child, observing what they're interested in. So if you walk down Main Street of your town, hi, I'm doing a video. Sorry. It's okay. He was out doing the car. If you walk down Main Street of your town, what is your child looking at? Is your child looking at the flowers in the window boxes? Are they interested in the architecture of the buildings? Are they looking at the models of cars that are driving by? Maybe they're looking at the construction equipment and what the people are doing. Maybe they're listening to the birds and the sounds around them. There's lots of different things they could be observing. Maybe it's a store. Maybe as you're walking past the storefronts, they're really interested in the bakery, or maybe they're very interested in the like pop-up craft shop. Lots of different things they could be interested in on that walk. If you take them out to a playground or like a play space of some kind, are they more interested in the play equipment, or are they more interested in the wood chips and the flowers nearby? Are they more interested in sitting and listening to the people talk? Is your child someone who wants to go up and talk to other kids? Or are they someone that kind of hangs back and watches? Are they a leader? Do they want to try to like lead a game at the playground? Or are they someone who's more of a follower? That's another way you can learn about your child. Taking them into places like a grocery store, or a nursery to go to the greenhouse. Maybe it's just taking them on your regular errands. Oh, we have to take the dog to the vet, or we have to do this. What kind of questions do they ask after those? Making sure that you're keeping lines of communication open. When you're at these places, are you focused on your list so much that you're not looking at what your child is interested in? Asking them questions about, hey, have you ever thought about what all goes into decorating cakes at the bakery? Or have you ever thought about what it's like to stock shelves? Maybe someone has to work overnight. What would you think about working overnight? Not trying to get them to tell you what job they want to do for the future, but just making them think through other people's lives, through other people's experiences, and having empathy for other people. Oh, that person, we came really early in the morning. They probably have worked all night. So, they're probably going to go home to go to bed, that type of thing. Also, finding YouTube videos, movies, like documentary type things to introduce them to things about the world around them. So maybe that's a science show. We know a couple different science shows that we watch, like Practical Engineering or Smarter Every Day are a couple of the science ones. There's a ton of history stuff you can watch, like Drive Through History with Dave Stotts, tells history from a Christian perspective, or Expedition Bible, he's an archaeologist. Maybe it's like word game type things. We watch a guy, I don't know that he's a Christian, so I can't verify everything he does, but his name is Brian Wiles. So this is just the idea I'm giving you, but he does like, do you know these English words? Or do you know these famous people by the picture? Do you know these countries by the landmark? That type of thing. So introducing your kids to things like that. Maybe it's going to the local like ethnic food, international food place you might have. Here in Maine, we don't have a ton of those unless you're in a big city. But also my mom gets us something called Universal Yums, which is every month you get a box from a different country. And so trying different foods, talking about the culture in that country. We do that with a game called Global, that we look for the country on the map and it tells you how far you have to go to the different country. And then we talk about different things from that country. We look up the country, whether it be on Wikipedia or something else. So there's lots of different ways you can get to know what your kid likes. Another thing is introduce lots of different types of learning. Maybe your kid really likes, like, read them a chapter book and ask them questions about it. Can they comprehend that well? Do they like to learn through reading? Maybe they'd rather learn through audio. So having a book on tape. Maybe your child really likes to learn through seeing, so watching YouTube, that type of thing, to learn that way. Or maybe they're a very hands-on learner, so they need to be doing the thing. Like Samuel, I think, is going to do really well at whatever he decides to do for his future. He's 16 right now. He's making decisions like that. But I don't know that Samuel would do too well at college, like in a typical college classroom, because he likes to gain some information and then go do something with it. So more like you do at a tech school. We're going to learn about welding and the machinery and book work we might have to do about that, but then we're going to actually go do the book work. Where a lot of times in college, you're doing semesters and semesters of study without actually putting it into practical use, other than writing papers. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not, whatever. I'm just saying that some kids don't learn well that way. So finding out what kind of learner your child is. Are they going to be able to gain more information from listening to the audiobook or you reading the book aloud? Or are they going to learn more from reading it themselves? Because some people kind of tune out when they start reading, like when someone else starts reading the book to them, they just kind of zone out. And some people do better listening and able to like crochet or something during that time. So these are ways that I would find out more about what my child is interested in and asking them when it comes time. So deschooling, it depends how long your child's been in school, how ingrained that thought process is. And listen, I went to public school all 12 years, 13 years, I guess, because you count kindergarten. I still have to undo my public school thinking. And I've been homeschooling for almost 23 years. So it's in there. You're going to have to keep doing this. But deschooling, when your child first comes out, just giving them time to be bored, time to look at the world around them and to see what they're interested in. Then when you start to pick curriculum for them, think about what ways are they able to learn best? Do they need auditory learning, listening to things? Do they need hands-on learning? And what kind of things would pique their interest? Josiah is 13, and right now he's really interested in wolves. So everything we're doing is based on wolves. So his handwriting is about wolves. He's writing stories about wolves. He's drawing pictures of wolves. He's learning about wolf habitat. He's learning about food chains through wolves. We had never, with Josiah, touched on food chains before this, and now he knows all about food chains because of wolves. And it's because that's what interests him. So no matter what curriculum you're doing, if you find something that they can be interested in along with what you're doing, they're more likely to understand and keep all of that knowledge inside. So if you have ways that you would deschool your child, or you have more questions about deschooling, please let me know below. Now, when I say all of this, I'm just going to add this at the end because someone's going to say, oh, but you actually need to teach your child. Yes, I agree. This is the first step to learning how your child learns so you can get them the resources they need and teach them the way they need to teach. This is a time of observation. This isn't the rest of their lives. So we'll see you guys next time on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. Bye.